William Clinton's inability to keep his hands off of every woman that he meets. And you can all sit out there and deny it and stand up for him all you want to. What I just said is the truth. Everybody in Arkansas knows it. It is a public joke in the whole state that the governor of the state couldn't keep his hands off of women ever. He lied about Jennifer Flowers. He's lied about so many things, ladies and gentlemen. How could you possibly believe anything that this man has ever or will ever say? I mean, we've gone over them on broadcasts of the hour of the time, one by one, many times, over and over and over again, the repeated incidents of lying by the President of the United States of America. It is a disgrace. We should be ashamed as a nation. We should be ashamed. I hear people tell me every day, Bill, what are you so upset about? Everybody lies. Nixon lied. Carter lied. They all lie. All the politicians lie. Gee, even the politicians in my city lie. Why should anybody get upset? Well, when I hear that from people, folks, I know that we're farther gone than anyone can ever imagine, because the public persona has decided that lying is okay. They have decided that their vote doesn't count because they have negated it from the beginning, knowing full well that they're going to vote for politicians who are lying to them about who they are, what they represent, and what they're going to do while in office, and they vote for them anyway, which means that's a no vote. They don't even know what they're doing when they cast that vote. But yet everybody knows it. Everybody will admit it. Politicians lie. Politicians are liars. You can't be a politician unless you are a liar. Do any of you know any politicians who has not lied to the public, to their constituency? I can't think of any. I don't know any. If you know one, please write me a letter. Tell me who it is. We'll research their election campaigns and their speeches, and we'll find out. And if they have not lied, I'll get on this radio and I'll say there is a politician in this country who has not lied to the American people or to his or her constituency, and name that person right here. But you know what? I bet you I won't get any of those letters, and I'll bet you that if I do and we do the research, I'll get on the air and I will be able to name many lies and demonstrate to you on this broadcast that they were in fact lies, to everybody's satisfaction. If the President of the United States, folks, will lie to us about something like this, what else is he lying to us about? If he will betray his wife, his family, if he will lie to them, what will he do to us? That's the whole gist of it. You see, if this person lived down the street from me and had a regular job like everybody else, I wouldn't care what he or his wife did. It's none of my business, as long as they don't hurt the person or property of any other human being, because I believe in freedom. But you see, this isn't somebody who lives down the street from me and has a regular job like everybody else. This person is in the most powerful office in the world. And he is compulsive, chronic womanizer. Compulsions have a habit of reaching into other areas. What if he was sitting at his desk one day and just kept looking at that button? And just kept looking at it. And all of a sudden he began developing the urge to push that button. And he managed to control himself for a few days. And maybe a couple of weeks, but every time he saw that button, he just had the urge to push it. You see, if he doesn't have any self-control over his sexual desires, how can he have any self-control over anything else in his life? This is a man who believes that he can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, as long as he is able to practice the cunning use of the English language in order to weasel out of any responsibility or admission of his wrongdoing and accountability for saying. That's why they call him Slick Willie. You know, it just amazed me that the American people voted for a man called Slick Willie. If you were going to buy a car, ladies and gentlemen, and you were driving down the street, and you saw a car lot with a big sign that said Slick Willie's Cars, you wouldn't stop there in 100 million years. You'd go on down the road to Joe Jones' dealership. And everyone listening to this broadcast knows that I'm right about this. Not one of you would stop at Slick Willie's used car lot, not in a million years, yet you voted the man into the most powerful office in the world to be the President of the United States of America. That tells me an awful lot about the American people. Of course, I already knew it. I found out several years ago. Made me so terribly angry that I just got so disgusted that it came out in a lot of my broadcasts. I just wanted to rub it in the face of the American people. Well, I don't do that anymore because I've sort of accepted the situation, and I deal with it in other ways. But it's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. You see, the big question here is not whether he lied or whether he didn't lie or whether he went to bed with this young woman or not. The question is how did our society get so filthy, dirty, rotten, stinking, sick that such a thing could ever happen? That's the question. That's the question you should all be asking yourselves. When did it become okay to lie? You see? President Clinton is probably telling the truth when he says he didn't tell anyone to lie. I'm going to tell you right now that based upon his past performance, it is extremely difficult, and I'm not telling you that I know whether or not this young lady is telling the truth, because I don't. But based upon his past experience, his reputation in the state of Arkansas, the testimony of many other women, it is absolutely impossible for me to believe that he did not have sex with this young woman at this point. I just can't believe it. I don't believe it. Because that's the kind of person he has proven to be. Remember Jennifer Flowers? 12 years she was his mistress. He claimed that he was not engaging in any relationship with her whatsoever, other than normal friendship, that there was no sexual relationship, that she was not his mistress, period. And we are told by competent authority that he admitted that he had lied in his deposition in the ongoing case of Miss Paula Jones. Now there's another one. You know, I hate it when I hear these girls referred to as bimbos or bimbo eruptions. Rush Limbaugh, you're doing these young women a great disservice. Paula Jones was not a bimbo. She was doing her job. She was invited up to a hotel room by an Arkansas State Patrolman, and had no idea what was going to happen. She's not a bimbo, and that's why she's suing. This current young lady is not a bimbo. She was a young 21-year-old impressionable girl who was an intern in the White House. She was around the President of the United States of America, was starstruck, and was taken advantage of. She's not a bimbo, and it's not a bimbo eruption. Now, Jennifer Flowers, that's another story. A 12-year mistress of the governor of Arkansas, whom she knew was married. Maybe, maybe not. But even then, I would be very careful about calling that woman, who appears to me to be extremely intelligent, a bimbo. A bimbo is somebody you meet at a party that's dancing on the tabletop, that's a one-night stand, and is always good for a few laughs and a tumble in the hay, in case you didn't know that. I don't think any of these women really fit into that category. And besides that, I was reared that you just don't do that anyway. You don't call a woman a bimbo, even though she may be. A gentleman or a lady does not do those kinds of things. But, who am I to foist that off on a nation that has gone so far downhill into the cesspool that it doesn't matter. There are no morals. It's okay to lie. It's okay to cheat. It's okay to steal. It's okay. It's okay. Just as long as you don't get caught. Right? You see, ladies and gentlemen, the nation is concentrating on all the wrong issues. When Lon Horiuchi, the FBI agent sniper, murdered Vicki Weaver